Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful rainy day here in southwest Georgia. And I had some thoughts on my mind this morning I woke up with earlier, and I figured I'd try to share a few of them with you. I've kind of realized something last night. I was on the Skype chatting with some of the people from the collective, and I started to realize things. I've spent, I guess, the last few nights or several nights this last week on the Skype chat, and sometimes for 2 or 3 hours at a time, and I've noticed something happening that's pretty cool, and I think it kind of just what's the word I'm looking for? It verifies, or it's a witness of what Naya was talking about, and the reason why she wanted us to start getting together and doing some of these conversations and doing some of these videos is because there's actually a process that's happening in there that's quite surprising, and it's actually very exciting to me. And what I've noticed is that through the process of our interactions, I'm becoming, actually, my frequency is actually being raised, because my I call it an ebb and a flow. It's like my spirit, or my essence, is actually joining with the other people's essence there, and it's raising my vibration, and it's really exhilarating. I want to thank you guys and encourage you that you'd be surprised. It may be subtle, or it may be like I kind of experienced something similar when I was doing a catch up, so to speak, on Naya's videos, and I sent a period of time to where I went through like 50 of the videos in one sitting, and I found myself to where the energy that was being manifest, or was coming through the ebb of and flow of her speaking and me watching, and then that receiving that into my being and my person, and it's kind of like it flows through us. It's alive, and I mean, I couldn't even go to sleep there for a couple days. The energy levels were so high, and it brought me to something else about, okay, well, what is the frequency, and what does all this mean? But before I get into that, I do want to say, I encourage you, if you haven't partook in these conversations, then it's something that you might want to do, because there are a lot of benefits, some that I'm not even aware of, but I know that it's good, and it's wonderful. Love you guys, and it's, we are kind of becoming one in family, and we're helping each other even when we don't realize it. And then, okay, so after that, I kind of started thinking about, well, what is this thing about the vibration and the frequencies, and how I've watched things about how to raise the my vibration and frequency, and that raised the question of what does that really mean to me. And I kind of came to the point to where the thoughts in my mind, when I'm living in my mind, and the thoughts, they carry me all over the place, and I'm not very centered, because they have a mind of their own. They have a thought process, and they want to keep that going, or it wants to keep that going, the thought process itself. So what I found out is, through me centering and getting out of my mind, I'm actually getting into my heart area, which actually is my essence, and the essence of source. And when I do that, and I get out of my brain, get out of my thoughts, that's when I actually become in the now. And when I do that, then automatically, of course, your vibration is going to raise, because you're not allowing the thought process to define who you are. So if we're always caught in the brain or the mind, and we're thinking about, we're either going back to the past, which is kind of a judgment, or it can be a negative energy, something that wasn't resolved. Forget about that. The way to resolve those issues from the past sometimes is to let them lay in the past and get into the now, and let that be where you're at. So that's one way. And then when we look into the future and we start worrying about that, well, that takes us out of the now also. So what I'm going to thrive to do, or the challenge, one of the things that I'm going to be doing in this upcoming year here, is learning to get out of my head and get out of the thought process of the mind, and living in that, and having that define me as who I am. And the thing about meditation, which Naya just put something out the other day, I think it might have been yesterday actually, about the her when she started meditating and all, and that was kind of cool. I'm kind of was into my brain too much, and I'll sit there and I'll try to start start the process, and then all of a sudden the mind will come, and thoughts will pop into the mind and it'll distract me. So sometimes it's just taking that second and being quiet and being still. One of the great things that we have, and I don't know if you can see in the background a little bit, but it's rainy, it's beautiful, but you probably can't, but there's a beautiful oak tree right here that I've parked my camper under and beside, which I'm kind of forming a relationship and a friendship with this tree. And I can look out there, and I can go out and walk in the grass, or walking the dirt. And walking in the dirt sometimes is cool because you can actually, the sun, the energies that you get from the sun that promote healing and awakening, all kinds of wonderful things. They're more, the energy is more consistent, or more predominant in the dirt. And you can walk in the dirt with your barefoot or whatever, and you can receive some, you can get grounded with Gaia by doing that. You can actually sun gaze. You can go out and, the first hour after the morning, when the sun comes up, or the last hour of the day, start out at like 10 seconds and just, look at the sun. You can blink. You don't have to sit there and stare and get all blurry eyed and everything, but just take your time and add 10 seconds a day to that. Myself, I wear glasses and contacts, so at the very least I do take my glasses off, and I make sure that when I'm doing this, I am actually just doing it for 10 seconds at a time. And then adding, the next day I'll add another 10 seconds, and the next day I'll add another 10 seconds. And let's say I did that 7 days in a row, then I'd be up to 70 seconds. And if I miss it for a week, then I don't start all over back again at the 10 seconds. I go back up to, I just start like it was the next day. You don't lose any of this energy that you're getting. So these are some of the little things about grounding that I'm going to be doing, and that I have started the process of doing. But getting back to my point, just finding yourself to where you're not in your mind, and that you're out of this thought process up here, out of what goes on between this area right here, all the thoughts. What am I going to do today? I wonder if such and such is coming over. Oh my God, I forgot to do this. All the distractions. You can actually feed that. And getting back into your heart in this area in here, that's where your life essence is. Just think of it as you came in like a ball of energy, and you actually decided to bring yourself into your body, and you placed yourself here as your center. Well, that's your center. Start living in the area here of, I don't know anything really about the chakras and stuff. I just know that this resonates with me, and this is true with me. And just calm yourself. And you don't necessarily have to go into I'm going to meditate for an hour every day and such, which that's fantastic. That is wonderful. But just getting to that point, even if it's in a situation where you walk up and there is a confrontation or something, and all of a sudden the mind can, hey, you're going to jump right into that. And one of the simplest ways to do that, if you have to close your eyes, they always used to say, hold your breath, or not hold your breath, but close your eyes and count to 10. Well, the meaning, it wasn't just the act of, I'm going to close my eyes and count to 10. It was actually to the point to where you're not allowing the emotions to enter. You're calming them. You're getting within yourself, and you're just being still. And you let that play out with them, and you don't allow it to interfere with you. So take that time and you center yourself by just being calm and not allowing the thoughts, not allowing the emotions and all to react. And then you can walk away from the situation without reacting, and so on and so forth. Or if you do find yourself throughout the day and you had a bad day, and your coworkers sitting there and telling lies about you, or interfering with your life, or trying to make themselves look better, or trying to place the blame on you, and you've had this hectic day, and then you got out in the car, your car wouldn't start. And then you went to jump the battery, and you turned the jumper cables the wrong way, and you blew your battery up, or whatever. It's pretty dramatic. And we have to find a place to where we don't allow those energies to take root and to come into our body, into our being, and to caused us to be bitter and angry and just ruin our day. So it's simple things. It's the simple things. And I know I'm kind of, if you guys haven't noticed yet, I start on one little thing. I don't really know what I'm going to say. I kind of had an idea in the beginning of what I wanted to say, but I hope that you get my point. There's several things that you can do. Get out of your head. Just if you can't go out and do the main meditating, just try to take that time and just clear your mind. And I don't care if you only do it for 30 seconds, because your mind, being in this place is of the now. It's like a muscle. If you relate it to it, it has a memory, or you can create a memory with it, and it takes on. It becomes very muscular if you exercise it, and sometimes all you need is just a little bit there to exercise it. And the sun gazing, and that may not be for everyone, and there may be some fear for certain people on that. I would I would ask you to go online and do some research on YouTube or something about it, and make sure it's something that you want to do. But it's there's a lot of fear behind that. Oh my God, I'm going to go blind. And getting back to that for a moment, I want to make sure you understand that it's probably not a great idea to go out when the UV is up 4 to 6, on a level of 4 to 6, and go out and stare at the sun for an hour. I mean, we've got to kind of use our, I guess I'm going to just say common sense. We kind of got to, let's not go crazy here. Try to do it in the mornings is the best time, about an hour or so after the sun comes up. A lot of us have the phone app where we can look at the weather, and most times it's pretty accurate. And try to keep that between, under the 2, the UV being under the level of 2. Just like when you go out in the sun has many benefits for you on your skin. When it starts getting up above like the 3 to the 4, you really want to use your sunscreen and stuff like that. Use a little bit of common sense, but just being out in that sun. And of course, there's nothing that you can stay. I don't care if you sleep all night on the ground. The only thing you're going to have maybe if it's cold and you freeze, but you're going to be grounded that way. And then going back to what I started this conversation with is, start. If you're going through all these things that you go through during the day or during your evening or night, you'd be surprised on just tuning in. You don't have to partake in the conversations. You can sit there and just listen to us on Skype, or listen to the others that are on there and that have been on there, and just being in that presence, it's like its own therapy, And what you'll find is that the strength, we kind of join together, and it starts giving you more the ability to live in that in that space of now, and that you'll find that your frequencies start to raise. And the other thing that's very important, and I think back to when I was in the church and everything, and the scriptures and the Bible, it said, laughter doeth good like a medicine. And just the times of smiling, laughing, looking at your dog, paying attention to the unconditional love. If you ever want to know what unconditional love is, look at the animal that loves you every day, no matter what you do to it. And there's a limit to that, of course. You're going, animals can be fearful if you abuse them, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. And like Naya was saying, find some things on YouTube or on the internet of laughter and joy. And those things they do it good like a medicine. They come into, and what that actually means is that you're actually getting into that place. See, raising your vibration is something as simple as don't be angry, transform it to being happy. You automatically raised your vibration. Don't be sad, watch something that's going to make you happy. Or in the process of you being sad, bring that mix of the higher vibration in there, and to where it actually transforms it, or you actually are able to, let that go. Deep depression is something that starseeds suffer a lot, and the key to all this, or one of the keys, is just like Naya says, is make yourself a little happier each and every day, or each and every moment. That doesn't mean necessarily that, well, I was a little happy yesterday, and then, today I got to be a little happier than I was yesterday, or else it doesn't work. No, it means be happier at each time when you find yourself not being happy, or you find yourself being sad. I mean, actually, it could mean both, but maybe that's a little bit hard for you to grasp. But, oh my God, I got every day, it's an expectation. I got to be a little happier today. No, simplify it. You remember that saying, kiss, keep it simple, stupid? I'm not calling you stupid. It's just it's that easy. Just take it just a little bit, make yourself, if you have a bad morning, just get a little happier. And sometimes it doesn't take a lot of work. Sometimes it's just as easy. It's just as good to be okay. So by being okay, you actually put yourself in that state of mind where you maybe closed your eyes and you counted to 10, or you just thought and you said, I'm not going to allow these thoughts to come through, and just don't think. Just allow your mind, if it's going to do it, just let it do it, but don't partake in it. Don't give it energy, and eventually it's going to be calm and quiet. And so you're making yourself happier, or you're making yourself, it's becoming a higher vibration than being sad or angry or whatever. So yes, be happier every moment that you need to raise your vibrations, and you're automatically raising your vibrations. Okay, I may be getting a little bit off track, but that's okay. I love you guys, and man, it is so cool to actually experience this life that we are walking in now, and that many of you have been walking in a little bit longer than me, but this is great. I'm happy for you guys, and you do make a difference. You do make a difference. Your energies, your vibrations, you don't have to go out and become a, well, I would call it like a new age preacher or something. We don't want to get in that, but just being there, your encouragement, sometimes it's just walking into a room and smiling at somebody. It is that simple. It is that simple. I love you guys. I hope this came out to where you understand what I was trying to say. You can tell I'm pretty excited, and this is something that is going to work for me. This is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good year, and things are getting better, guys. It's already there. It's already there. We just have to accept it and walk in it. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.